I like the idea of tracking this. Now, lining up the good days is the 2 hours a day. It's the, I talk to X number of people every day. I have a target, and I'm actually pretty decent at sticking with that, okay? It depends on your business. If some of you are high, like online lead type businesses, you guys have to talk to a lot more people than someone whose business is all referral and past clients. Conversion ratio, right? But your number is your number. That FISBO gal I was talking to you about with the pink hair, she knew that kind of her target was she needed to talk to 5 a day. So there's this concept, and you get yourself a little calendar, okay? A little simple, calendar on the wall. You might have a fireman calendar. So I brought that for you. It might have puppies. Maybe you have mountain ranges, pretty flowers, okay? Some of us in the room might have this on our calendar. But when you have this and you're actually tracking, guys, and this is kind of coaching 101, it's business 101, but we're going to go back to it. Because if you understand this important foundational concept in your business of lining up the good days, of having conversations, and you actually start tracking it, and maybe you're putting numbers in there. Or what if your number was like 5? Maybe 5 is the magic number in my business that I know that if I'm consistently having 5 decent lead gen conversations in my business, even 4 days a week consistently, and that, for me, that's a good number, and that actually feeds my business. But you know your number, you know your business, but you start tracking it. Did I do my JOB today? So maybe you're putting a number in. Maybe you're just putting a smiley face on the days where it's like, look, I actually focused for 2 hours today, and I made my calls, my follow-up calls, and some lead gen calls. Yes, yay me, it's a win for the day. You get the smiley sticker. You literally could do the stickers, that the kids get on their graded paper that day. But you're lining it up because this visual, at the end of the week, I want you to be able to look at it and say, well, wait a minute. And let's call it 5 days, okay? Please don't be working 7 days a week. That's going to mess with the brain chemistry too. I know, 6 is kind of common. What if we could hit our financial goals and we're really kind of working maybe about 4 days a week? Anybody want that program? I want that program. But when we're looking at it, at the end of the week, you look at it, this is you being a good manager in your own business. Because you have to be able to track it. It's like, well, how did I do this week? Now, some of you have coaches and kind of hold you accountable for this kind of stuff. This is you coaching you. This is you being a good national sales manager in your own business. Because that's really what we are. Congratulations, you just got promoted. Forget the COO stuff, forget the CEO stuff, forget all of it, forget the chief marketing officer stuff, forget all of those stuff. If you guys are not being a decent national sales manager in your own business, none of that other stuff matters. And by doing it here, you can look back and say, okay, how many days this week, how many decent conversations did I have? And sometimes those are simple conversations, okay? You text them first. Here's my approach. Here's how easy it is. I text them first, and it specifically says, hey, I need to run something real estate by you real quick. When do you have a couple minutes today? That's my text. Now I'm doing those in the morning, the little 2-hour block. That doesn't mean they're gonna be available to talk right then. Some of them might say, hey, can you call me at lunch? Absolutely, you're taking your notes. Someone might say, hey, can I talk to you when I'm driving home tonight from the office? Great, perfect. You're lining up those conversations. But the text is, hey, I need to run something business by you real quick. Do you have a minute? I'm not calling them personally and then pulling the, oh, by the way card. I hate that, okay? It's business, and we called it what it is. So you get them on the phone, you say, hey, I realize I hadn't run this by you in a while, and honestly, I'm not doing my job if I don't run this by you every once in a while, but I have just a couple quick questions. There's 2 questions, and one I ask is a yes, no, and then the other is a little better than that. Are you guys anticipating any real estate needs between now and, the next summer, or this year, or this quarter, right? Are you anticipating any real estate needs coming up? That's the question. And they're gonna give you an answer, say, okay, great. And then the second one is, Who do you know who may need my services? We're already setting up appointments for winter. I'm usually, kind of putting it out for the next season, creating a little sense of urgency. Who in here could do 5 of those texts and calls really pretty easily in one day? And how simple are those? And by the way, when was the last time you had those conversations with your BFFs, your family, your sister, your mother, your father, your brother, your favorite client? The people that are close, sometimes we forget the people that are closest to us. And by being purposeful, the folks that are really close to you, by the way, if you have not had a meaningful conversation with them about your business and where you're going and why and how that's important and how they can help you, now is the time. Because remember, we're shifting into more of a skill-based market, but I would also say that we're shifting into a being more purposeful market. John said it earlier. He said, it's been easy to do real estate really kind of over the last couple years. It just kind of shows up. Even last January, February, things shifted quickly on us this spring. January, February, March, it wasn't hard. And now all of a sudden it's like, oh, wait a minute. I have to shift back to being purposeful in my business. And it's not hard. You've got to line up the good days. You've got to be able to track it. If you have a team, or if you have an accountability, this is a great thing to do with an accountability partner, and you guys can just share, literally can share a snapshot, a snapshot of your calendar. What does it look like, and how are you doing?